Hey everybody, I just wanted to let you guys see what I've been working with for the past couple of weeks since Prime Day at the end of October. I've got an Anbernic rg505. I know some of you guys have seen the videos that I've loaded on my TikTok where I show like the game of the night and I've been playing it on this device. It's the yellow thing. But this is just part one where I show off a couple of the games that I've been emulating on here. 3DS, PSP, um, N64, Sega Genesis, and Game Boy Advance. So this is part one. I'll probably end up doing a part two as well. There's some tinkering that had to be done just to get some of these games to work correctly. And it's just relearning how to play with the new ergonomics. That's what you're seeing here. Don't expect me to be a gaming expert, but these are fun as is. If you guys are going to get into 3DS emulation on this device, it is possible. I was able to get up to like 30 to 60 frames per second on here, but for certain games I had to compile a shader, and you had to wait for the shader to actually load so you could actually get decent frame rates while you're playing the game. The 3DS is a relatively new game console, so when you're doing games on there, it gets a little bit buggy and a little slow. So I actually did show some of the footage of the device loading up, so you guys can actually see how everything's going on here. So look at Kerbo go. So as you can tell, it stutters a little bit, but once everything gets all compiled and everything, it starts moving a lot smoother. Next up on my emulation journey, I put Tony Hawk Pro Skater on here. By the way, you guys might notice that the audio's off. I don't want any copyright issues or anything like that. Um, Honestly, it ran fine. I played it on PlayStation 1 originally. I've tried the Dreamcast version through this, and I tried the N64 one. The N64 one's interesting because you have to use both joysticks to do tricks. But it was still fun. I'm going to practice on this a little bit more and hopefully get better at it. Where this device really impresses me when it comes to emulation is PSP, Dreamcast, GameCube, and Wii. Honestly, those games run flawlessly. So, like right now, I have Tekken Dark Resurrection on here, and yeah, I was quite feeling myself on Tekken. Yeah, this can run all PSP games without any issues whatsoever. I got Tomb Raider on here. I got Tekken. I got Soul Calibur. Just all kinds of stuff. And yeah, I was having a blast on this. I remember playing this back when it first came out on PSP, and Sergei Dragunov became one of my favorites just because he was like a grappler and he was just that mysterious type. And I still hate Wang because he's short. Dude got me in the first round, but I came back mad at him. That's some trauma. GameCube emulation went really well. I put product number 3 on here. This game turned out really smooth. I'm not going to lie. I never really played it when the GameCube first launched. So this gave me the ability to actually give it a go. Nice details, nice graphics. Smooth. This definitely gives me some Dreamcast aesthetic vibes going on with it. But yeah, for GameCube, I remember seeing the trailer for this like when I was at Kmart back in the day, and I thought this was going to be a pretty interesting game. By the time I got a GameCube for $150, I could not find this game anywhere. So, I mean, being able to try it out on the rg505 and see it can run at full speed is definitely interesting. Capcom should probably consider giving us a remaster of this as well. I would love to see this like on the modern consoles with a little better detail. I had to show you guys also how it works with modern day games as well. Smashing the Battle just came out a couple of years ago. It just got an Android release. I think I talked about this before when I loaded it on my budget tablet that I found at a random e-recycle place. So, yeah, this game just runs flawlessly. Graphics look good. High resolution. Very anime-esque. Can't knock it. The only interesting part was about this when you try to download it in the Google Play Store, it said it wasn't compatible with the device. It should be. So I actually downloaded the APK through a sideload, and everything works just fine. There's some incompatibility issues with some apps in the Android App Store. If you really want to consider playing a game on there and it's not on the store, just get the APK on the sidelines. You'll be fine. I wanted to show off a couple of new games that recently came out for the Game Boy Advance and Sega Genesis. So this is Good Boy Galaxy. This game just came out this year or last year for Game Boy Advance, Evercade, and Nintendo Switch, I believe. Honestly, it looks the same on all of them. I was trying to figure out what console I wanted to get it on, and I saw the digital file for Game Boy Advance and was like, yeah, let's just give it a go. Let's see how it looks on the OLED screen on the rg505. And yeah, this was actually a really smooth experience. Looks really fun. I'm going to keep playing it. I did download the prologue, I think, on one of my cheaper handhelds. And so I'm getting used to the full-fledged experience, as you can see here. And to finish up round one of the reviews, I loaded Insane Pain, which is a new Sega Genesis game. Yes, we still get new Sega Genesis games in the year of our Lord 2024. And 2025 has a list of them coming out. This one you can get off the itch.io store. Looks like Killer Instinct. It's smooth as hell. I still need to learn the controls on the rg505, which is interesting. But you can see me lose here. Not a bad time. If I was any good at this and I was getting my butt whipped to C block, I'd probably be a little pissed off. And just so you guys are aware, I did edit this whole video on the rg505 itself through CapCut. I was able to screen record, put all the videos on here, and it does everything just fine. Because it has 4 gigs of RAM and it has a unisoc processor that's actually pretty decent. You can play most Android games on here. You can emulate all the way up to PlayStation 2 and 3DS. And yeah, it's been a fun experience. Next video I do for this, I'll show off a couple more graphically intensive things like PlayStation 2. I'll show off some Dreamcast stuff on here as well. because Dreamcast is one of my favorite consoles. I'm usually on there or on PSP. Ganera Free Fire, Blasphemous, and a few other awesome games. Because everything on here runs pretty smooth. And I also want to try out the new Squid Game that recently came out too from Netflix. So, perfect way to play.